I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Oh.
Thank you very much. We have department head updates.
Good evening. So since last meeting, September 15th, we've had 694 calls for service, 8 motor vehicle crashes, 342 motor vehicle stops, and 13 arrests. The same time last year was 622 calls for service, 8 crashes, 246 stops, and 20 arrests. So far, year to date, our calls for service are 4,950. With 68 motor vehicle crashes, 1,600 motor vehicle stops, and 148 arrests. Year to date last year was 5,439 calls for service, 72 crashes, 2,201 stops, and 132 arrests. So staying status quo, as Randy likes to say. You're welcome. Cruiser 1, our K9 cruiser, has 10,425 miles on it. Cruiser 2, our 2021 Explorer, 85,857 miles. Cruiser 4, the 2019 Explorer, has 113,409 miles. And our last one, Cruiser 5, the 2023 Explorer, has 61,407. So everything's going well there. Happy to report Officer Commissariat's back to full duty and back in the shift. So that's good. And tomorrow, Randy's guys will be helping, but we have a semi-annual, every 2 years, whatever you call it. New Hampshire Chiefs of Police Association teams up with McDonald's, and we do a fundraiser every 2 years. So that'll be happening tomorrow night. I'll be at the Lancaster McDonald's from 4 to 7, and then Randy will have some of his equipment there, and let the kids see the cruisers and the fire trucks, ambulance, and we do that every other year. And McDonald's donates portion of the proceeds to the New Hampshire Chiefs Police Association. And the last thing is we're gearing up for Project Code Mountain. We've got all the dates set for food collection, distribution, all that stuff, but everything's going well. We did, I didn't put this on the list, but it just popped in my brain. We sent out 4 invites, PT invites for the open positions. I've had 1 person email me back and decline to come, so now that's 3. Pending. We obviously have the 1 8th position that I've been trying to fill all year. That is open. And then Officer Kennison, I don't know if I reported this last, I wasn't here last meeting, so no, I didn't. As you guys know, he's very busy with his personal job that he has, Twisted Elm, and he has his hand on many things with that. He's come to me and sadly letting you know he's going to have to step back from full-time status. He can't be a full-time officer working 40+ hours a week and run his personal business at 40+ hours a week and be a new father. He's got a little over 1-year-old son. It's too much for him. So he's going to stay on part-time. He loves doing the job. It's too much, and I understand it. While it sucks, for lack of a better word, to lose him as a full-time officer, I understand it as a parent and all that. So technically we'll have his last day with us will be last full-time day with us. Will be November 1st. And he's just going to concentrate more on his personal stuff because that continues to grow for him. So good for him for being a very wise entrepreneur and building a very excellent business that's very profitable for him. But you know, his gain is our loss in that aspect. So. But yeah, I think I've hit all the points. Jessica, did I miss anything? Sure. I think I've done it all this time. Any questions on any of that? No. Well,
Thank you very much. Chief Lynn.
Mine should be short, I hope. September, our 911 calls were at 57 compared to 55 last year. Transfers were at 97 this year compared to 111 last year. Total for 154 this year compared to 166 last year. Year to date, we've done 562 911 calls, 915 transfers, for a total of 1477. Last year at this time was 609 911 calls and 1101 transfers, for a total of 1701. A7, which is the truck that we had at Berlin City for the transmission and engine, should be done this week. They had a lot of problems getting the old nuts and bolts off, which extended it a little bit. But I've been assured that the price will stay the same, no matter how long it took. That's good news. We still don't have water at the fire station, but there is a plan to fix it. It's just finding time to do the work. Something that wasn't on here was that we do have to replace the blower on the furnace at the fire station, which we knew that ahead of time. The bearings have gone and it's very loud when it runs. Justin from Al's Plumbing got it to where it is today, and it's just time to replace it. So that shouldn't be a huge expense. The parade, the fire prevention parade went very well. Very, very impressed with the public coming out for that. Every year I say, my God, I don't know how anybody stands this, but people come and they enjoy it. Kids love it. And I want to thank John and his crew and the highway department for making sure the street was clean before and after. Our staffing is, we have 2 out on medical still, 1 full-timer and 1 part-timer. We're still looking for more bodies. And slowly we'll get 1 or 2. So we're working. As far as the burn ban that's on, that really hasn't affected us much. We've had, as it states, 3 infractions, one of which will involve a fine. Everybody else is just a small campfire. And we'll be visiting that site tomorrow as well, the one with the fine. And it's that time of year that we look at ambulance rates. We said we were going to do that annually. So hopefully at the next work session, we can look at that, whether we move anything or not is irrelevant. I just want to make sure that we visit that annually. And you have your vehicle report attached. Quicker than normal. Never mind, it wasn't.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Feel free to hit on that. Next up this evening, we have a change with Fidium and Consolidated Communications. We have Jeff Ivor and Sarah.
He's calling her to me. Okay. Well, we're calling him some other man. Low time. Sure, you can get it going.
Is it okay if I sit? Feels weird with no one standing.
We're all friends.
Okay. He had it working perfectly and now it's.
Yeah, I figured like.
I know, it was full of ridiculous. No, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. We're
There you
used to
go.
it. Never does. All right. Well, we're here today from Fidium Fiber. We were here, God, probably a little over a year ago, or I specifically was. Jeff was in another town that evening. And we came to you seeking your support for our submission of a broadband matching grants initiative grant with the state of New Hampshire, which we filed and were successful in winning. And we are here before you today because we have completed building out to all the addresses that were covered under the broadband matching grant initiative. So the BMGI, I'm just going to call it for short to spare us all that. But the $25 million made available to provide matching grants to internet service providers and municipalities to improve broadband availability. Overall, for the whole state, we were awarded $11.8 million to provide service to 1,507 eligible project locations. 393 of those were here in Lancaster, and they were funded and approved by the state. And the reason it's only 393 is you are only eligible for this program for addresses that were identified by the state as unserved or underserved. And so that was the 393.
That's the difference between the application of 455.
Yes.
And the approval of 393.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Very
Yes. The state came back and said some of these locations are served and we need to cut you back down to the 393. And
So served, just not at that high level, but not considered on or underserved.
exactly right. So they have some level of service that exceeded, I think it was 25.3 at the time, but obviously did not have 2 gig symmetrical fiber like we're offering. So originally the Lancaster construction was supposed to start in Q2 of 2025. And complete in Q3 of 2025. We were a bit ahead of schedule. So in Q4, we updated the town and said we'll be able to start the project. In Q1, we started a little early in December, and then we completed construction on April 28th, 2025. All 393 grant addresses now have access to 2 gig symmetrical fiber service through 58 new miles of fiber. And here is the depiction of the town. The red addresses are the unserved. I think the yellow are the underserved. And in 2022, 0 of the addresses qualified for 100 meg speeds. And then currently in Lancaster, 1,494 addresses qualify for 2 gig symmetrical fiber through Fidium Fiber.
Sarah, can you tell us that how you didn't get approved for all of that 455? So there was 62 addresses. Do you know where they're located on there?
I don't. If it's important, I can go back and dig through the information, but essentially we applied for all the addresses and it wasn't just Lancaster that was impacted. Some other areas were too. The state got evidence from other providers that they actually served those addresses. And so then the state had to pull them back, said we can't fund them under this program. So it wasn't a choice Consolidated made, it was a choice the state of New Hampshire made based on evidence that they had served. And the program was only for unserved and underserved, so it didn't fit in the program. But we can go back and look, because I'm sure at the time we went through exactly which addresses.
Would those addresses be eligible in future rounds of funding, like in Lancaster get another bite of that apple?
Well, so let me tell you a story and then leave the 62 off to the side and we'll talk about that after.
62 on the side.
Yeah, just to follow.
I'm very interested in the 62.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'll have to tell you, I mean, the short answer is I don't know, but I'll tell you about what is happening. So we completed this project over a year early. We had until the end of next year to complete this project in all the areas. And so Lancaster, we've needed to go to each of the towns as part of this to sign the agreement. Lancaster is our last one to sign this agreement. It's holding up $11.8 million. So you can probably see why we're a little anxious to get this signed. The BEA has revised the certification for you all, clarify that it's only to the 393 location. And the important part, the punchline, the reason I said put the 62 off to the side is Consolidated is completing the rest of the build in the town of Lancaster. We're doing that in 2 different ways. One is through the BEAD program, the broadband equity advancement and digital access program. We are completing a portion of it. They were eligible through that. Now, I don't know the overlap with the 62. I can go back and match those up. but it was whatever the state had remaining in the town of Lancaster after they went through many rounds of the federal process that was unsold. And so we're serving the rest of it through that. And then we will complete out the build it with consolidated own capital, complete the entire town of Lancaster. We don't have a specific time frame on that. There's a couple of things that need to happen. The state needs to be approved by NTIA for the B portion of the program. After that, we have to go through an environmental approval, which is called NEPA, before we can put a shovel in the ground. And then we have to obtain, which is current source of headache for all providers, BABA compliant material. Build America, Buy America Act requires that certain materials be built and made in America. And Corning glass is the largest component part of fiber, and it's really difficult. While a lot of companies manufacture actual fiber here, the glass is not made here. And so they all have to ramp up lines of business to make the glass here. So then they can make that a compliant material. And so because of that, we don't have a specific time frame on when we will do that. We estimate it'll be at the end of 26, early 27 timeframe, but we don't have a specific time. That will complete everything. And then back to the 62. So the reason I set them off to the side is because I can't tell you the overlap. I can go back and look that up, and I'm happy to send you guys the specific information on the 62. But the punchline of the story is that we'll be building up to the rest of the town of Lancaster, whether 62 is part of this or not. You're welcome.
I do have a question on it says video was awarded for 1,507 project locations.
Yeah.
You're currently at 1,494. On the next page, what's that difference?
Two different numbers. So 1507 is throughout the state. So Lancaster is just one town. With all the states we worked with in the town, the unserved and underserved addresses is 1507.
Okay.
The 1494, which doesn't relate to that number at all, really,
Got it. Yep.
is all the addresses we serve in Lancaster today with 2 gig symmetrical service. So when we go to the unserved addresses, we pass a number of addresses along the way. Obviously, we light them up too. So the two numbers don't relate. The 393 is a subset of the 1507. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Do you remember the night you made the presentation and what our motion was?
I do not specifically
I
remember.
would expect you to.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's my first night as a select board member.
Congratulations.
Yes. And thanks for calling out that Lancaster's the only town that hasn't approved.
Yeah.
I take citing something pretty seriously, so
I know I totally get it.
So thank
Yeah.
you both very much for being here.
No, no problem.
We're given a motion that night to make
Yeah.
as part of your presentation that I read out loud.
Yes.
The motion talked about 927 crossings.
Yes.
Why wouldn't that be the document the BEA has sent back to us? So it corresponded with our motion.
Yeah. I don't know. This is the certification that they wanted, and we're trying to stay compliant with their program. It's complicated because the feds gave the money through state and local fiscal recovery funds and capital project funds to the states to administer. So you have layers of compliance. They've hired an outside contractor, Guidehouse, who is managing their compliance program because they're not really staffed to do all that. This is what they've determined they wanted.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that that's what you were approved for. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. What we kept getting for information
Right.
was what you applied for.
Right.
Not what you actually were granted.
Right.
So
No.
can you see
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And apologies for that.
information in signing a form?
Absolutely.
Relates to what we agreed to 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, that makes perfect sense. No, and I'm glad.
It's always good to see you
Yes.
and to see this in color. I remember that night too. Our packets were black and white.
Yes,
So that made that virtually
a lot harder. Yes.
harder. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good way to describe it. Yes. Do you have any? Yeah, you have answered my question.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Anything else? Then
We
we
really appreciate you, like I said, coming out and explaining
No
this. I'm sorry if the delay was, it took a minute for you guys to get here, I guess, or get word back, but
Yeah.
I still needed more information. but
Yeah, and I
if I'm
apologize.
committing to something, I'm attesting to it.
Yeah. No,
So,
no, and I apologize. It might have been our misunderstanding that we were thinking we were sending them out. I don't think we were appreciating it was like, we needed to relate it exactly to the 9:55. I don't think we were getting that message, so our apologies for not getting.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
And if anyone has any issues or anything, you have our contact information in there, reach out. I mean, any small things, anything you want.
Shane has said he's gotten some calls from folks in town that haven't moved, or one of those addresses maybe aren't to the,
Yeah.
maybe
That,
adequately, but not.
and David Calvin, July here, he does, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. To put together something like that and always reach out. I mean, addressing issues in rural areas are always, you know, some people think they live on the street names change 3 times. So it's always good to check. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Have a good night. Take care. Thank you. Next up this evening, there are no public hearings. Review of minutes for the October 2025 work session.
I'll make a motion to accept the in-session minutes of October 6th as presented.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
There's also a October 2025 regular select board meeting.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Next up, sign various paperwork. We have an abatement for AMC Real Estate at 44 Main Street. As you know, we have a water line which runs underneath the sidewalk. We ask them to keep their water running so there are no issues, so the abatement is regarding that. Population. Next up for new business, we have the 2025 religious, charitable, and educational institutional exemption.
Yes, I've got a motion to make on that. I went through the big folder. You guys familiar with the big folder? And the motion is that we review the list of the 2025 tax exempt properties. The DRA forms A9 and A12 have been returned to the town office by property owners. We believe all forms required have been filed and approved the exemptions.
Second.
Thank you. Whole business number 1 this evening is the consolidated communication build-out certification of satisfaction. I must inform you that we did receive an updated copy, and in looking at this, this is the original copy. So I would request that afterwards I print the correct form out. If you're,
That's 393, right?
correct, yes.
Thank you. I'm glad that's done.
Do you need a motion to sign that?
I'll make a motion to sign the, build out certification of satisfaction.
One, Shane is happy. I'll second.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, select board member report.
No, I've been busy with consulting.
Actually, I don't have anything at this moment.
Next up this evening is a town manager report. I attended a Lancaster Housing Authority special meeting a couple weeks ago. They will be provided additional reports from Berlin Housing Authority to allow for checks to continue to be signed and are working to update their rules of procedure. I met with representatives from a number of the pickleball. We will be providing them access to Coloneltown Mondays and Fridays from 9:30 until 1, and they are on a cancellation list for Wednesdays if the other groups don't use the space. We are putting out, we're prepping an RFP to replace our municipal financial software, as we were placed on notice last year that our current system would not be supported. This is to better understand what that investment looks like and if it would hit 26 or 27. We need those numbers at this point. I've worked with 3 welfare cases to assist with housing. One was we found shelter space, and 2 are working towards obtaining other housing, but there's been no awards since our last meeting. I also have a representative from Homeland Security and Emergency Management coming in on Wednesday to sit down with me the entire day to help me submit invoices for our FEMA disasters. Our roads are nearly at 100%, and we'll be moving forward with requesting it once the shutdown comes back, everybody comes back live. And that is it for me. There is information this evening on New Hampshire DES dredge and fill application for Anderson tax map R10 lot 67. There is a zoning board notice of decision for variance approval conditions Brevard tax map 15,
That's an R.
R15 lot 22.
Sorry about that.
There are land use permits for Joshua Rivard at 24 Walker Drive, Adam and Catherine Bennett at 65 Portland Street, Alan Savage at 493 Main Street, Jack Felly Highland Village Townhouse Properties at 145 Portland Street, Charles Ball Sr., 46 Ingerson Road, Peter Lupacino, Lupo's Way off of Page Hill Road, Tyler Kennison at 49 Williams Street, James and Roby Collins at 131 Elm Street, Maureen Ingerson at 21 Summer Street. And we also have a sign permit for Lynn Fuller at Carmela's Bath and Body on Main Street, that's on Main Street. That's it for information. Next up is public comments.
Oh, you're first. Just want to remind you, the airport commission is meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 and at 6 o'clock. They will do the budget public presentation of the budget for next year. It's been noticed and urged to come on by and explain it to them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay, seeing none?
I have a non-public session request for 91A32 C and E for matters which, if discussed in public, would likely adversely affect the reputation of any persons, and also consideration or negotiating of pending claims or litigation.
Motion to go without public session, exactly what she stated.
Okay.
Okay, do we have to do a
Roll call. Yep.
Leon?
Aye.
Kathy Jean?
Aye.
Shane? Aye. Yes.